Yeah, so man, listen. Last week things had got a little intense with Drake and his lawsuit, man. Like we was reading out the stuff he said he got information about Kendrick Lamar. Well, no, they requested information about Kendrick Lamar 2014. No, things got last week. Things got a little intense, man. Drake and his, team, they were requesting information from like 2014 about Kendrick's domestic violence history, and then Kendrick's relationship between Dave Free and Kendrick's children. It was getting crazy. Now, look like things have taken another turn, and Mr. Aubrey, they saying that they have information about Mr. Aubrey and some minors. This here is getting crazy. Now, let me just be clear on my stance and how I see this. Domestic violence against women, not tolerated. We don't, you know what I'm saying? We don't want that going on. We don't know what happened between them two. We don't know what took place. Because she could have kicked him in his NUTs and he could have said, boom, B, don't ever do that. But we don't know what took place between Kendrick and his woman. But one thing is for certain, we ain't messing with no pedophiles, buddy. Messing with a minor, that R word, and just doing stuff to children and women, that's out, bro. That's out. You can't come back from that, man. At all. You know what I mean? Like domestic violence, okay. We don't permit that. But messing with children, not allowed. Let's get to it, man. We're gonna check out the company, man. Listen to him break this down. Because my man here, he's better at articulating than I am, for sure. So we're going to listen to him and see what's going on, man. Y'all check out his channel. He got some good stuff over there. So let's go.
Copy or description by category and location of documents, electronically store information, and tangible things under Federal Rule of Civil Procedures 26A1AI2, or 2, excuse me. Based upon the information now reasonably available to UMG states that it has in its possession, custody or control of the following categories of documents that it may use to support its defenses, unless the use would be solely for impeachment. Okay, so this is the things that UMG is stating now on record that they have in their possession that they're willing to use to defend itself. All right, now we've seen UMG respond to the various filings that have gone out, the pre-action petitions, et cetera. We've seen UMG's responses to this, and they've hinted at a number of things. For example, we all had a great time looking at the footnotes of UMG's filings because they were hilarious and throwing all kinds of shade, particularly in the beginning, in their earlier documents. And so you're going to see some of the things that they talked about in their footnotes in this latest update. This update came out yesterday.
This shit crazy.
All right, so let's go.
This crazy.
One, contracts and agreements between UMG and Drake and documents concerning UMG's contractual relationship with Drake. We talked about Lucian Grange's letter, how Lucian Grange said that they own the bulk of Drake's catalog. For example, we'll get to see the splits as that was also a part of the conversation in this back and forth between Drake and Kendrick. Where Drake says, the way you doing splits, your pants might rip. And then Kendrick says, show me your splits, I'll make sure I double back with you. You signed to a hitter that signed to a hitter that's said he was signed to that.
Hit up.
I still love that. I mean, it's a Pusha T thread, but it's still funny. So, but nevertheless, Drake's contract, obviously Drake has that. Obviously UMG has that. All right. The other recordings in Drake and Lamar's rap feud and documents concerning the distribution, marketing, and promotion of the other recordings in the feud. I think this is particularly interesting because one of the theories that's out there is that on Family Matters, Drake says, know what I mean, and that's allegedly supposed to be Kojo's company. So he put that in Family Matters because he knew, I guess he either knew he was going to sue or I guess he knew that things were being botted. But Family Matters came out before Not Like Us. It came out before Meet the Grams.
Sure did.
So at that point in time,
sure did.
The bots are really only working for, as it pertains to this battle, what? Euphoria? I mean, that never really made sense to me about
Euphoria
that. Just
and
the timeline of things that are happening there, right? So if you're going to say Kojo and all these people,
the other one with Future,
Drake is out here saying that he's leaving breadcrumbs for his fans.
Is you like that
information on all of this? The timing just doesn't add up. It just doesn't add up at all. But that just comes to mind when I look at this bullet point here, right? Because there were other recordings in Drake and Lamar's rap feud and documents concerning the distribution, marketing, promotion of the other recordings in the feud. I'd imagine that distribution around them was about the same, and then after Not Like Us took on a life of its own, it carried its own thing, I'd imagine. But that part's interesting. Here's the next one. The petition entitled Art on Trial, Protect Black Art, appended as Exhibit A to UMG's request for judicial notice in support of its motion to dismiss. Now, I think this speaks more than anything else.
What the heck is that?
To just how litigious, or how, in this case, rap lyrics have been used in court quite a bit. Quite a bit. We saw this with the Young Thug YSL trial, for example. They tried to take things that they're saying in songs and making them literal confessions.
Yep.
And they always try to treat hip hop that way. In a lot of ways,
since the beginning,
hip hop as if it's different than movies, etc. Now,
they did that all the way to the NWA, Uncle Luke, always, man. Back in the 80s, they were doing that.
I'll be full straight up. I understand it. Half of it is because hip hop itself has always defined itself as keeping it real, or for a very long time was talking about keeping it real, or that's fake, or you're not writing your rhymes, or you're not really living that life. And so that is sort of a branding hip hop as a culture and a community we put on ourselves in a lot of ways, but we have strayed a long way from that point in time. Now we have rappers who are saying, yeah, I use ChatGPT to write my raps.
Tomato.
We've got people outside Big X the Plug. We talked about this in the chart report. Big X the Plug is out here saying, admitting his homies writing his whole songs.
Tomato.
Now, these two things aren't the same, but nevertheless, these are a different era. And I think it's very obvious in 2025 that whatever the ethos and tenets of hip hop were at one point in time, they have evolved quite a bit. And because of that, when you start seeing the litigious nature, you start seeing prosecutors or attorney generals out here trying to put a RICO on everybody, saying that, oh, well, he said in his rap song, it must be true. I imagine that this bullet point here speaks to that. The petition entitled Art on Trial, Protect Black Art, appended as Exhibit A to UMG's request for judicial notice in support of his motion to dismiss.
Yeah, for sure. You could rap is art. So, but you got some of these dummy rappers putting real criminal activity and real events that has taken place in their rap songs. That's not art. That's just pure stupidity. You just self-snitching then.
Next bullet point. Other recordings by Drake and documents concerning the same, including but not limited to those appended in Exhibits B, C, and Z to UMG's RGN. News reports and documents concerning Drake's relationships with and behavior around minors. I'm gonna read that one more time.
Get it in.
News reports and documents concerning Drake's relationships with and behavior around minors. The criminal charges and convictions of Baka Not Nice. Baka got a weird case. Why is he around? Travis Savory. And 3, the rap feud between Drake and Lamar, including but not limited to the documents appended in Exhibits N through X to UMG's RJN. Now, UMG is saying, yo, we are willing. We also have information on Drake's relationships with minors. And this really speaks to what we've been talking about for a very long time. Discovery goes both ways. Drake knows a lot about UMG. UMG knows a lot about Drake. And for Drake to make this case that Not Like Us is
defamatory and false.
Which, from everything that we've seen so far, at least I've seen so far, I interpret it as the bulk of that lives on the lines certified lover boy, certified PDFs. A lot of it leans on that. The Say Drake, I heard you like him young line, that is a quote from Drake himself from Taylor Made Freestyle. Okay, the stuff that they put in there about Not Like Us being anti-Semitic or threats of violence or whatever, I think that's fluff to round out the filing itself.
Yeah,
the certified pedophiles part is a play on Drake's catalog. We know that. But they're hoping to sneak past, from Drake's team standpoint, they want the fact that not everyone who's heard this song is aware of the nuances of hip hop, of this battle, of what a rap battle is and how the energy moves. They want those people, because we've read about this quite a bit in all these documents. They've made this point a lot. They want to be able to argue that the average consumer, the general consumer, won't understand that line. And UMG is saying, well, we're prepared now with news reports and documents. We know about the public stuff. We know about, different actresses, what they've said on record. We know about what happened on stage. I believe that was in Colorado when he kissed the underage girl on stage. Okay, we know about a lot of these public stuff. We know about the news reports. Bro. They say they have documents too. Drake's relationships with and behavior around minors. The criminal charges and conviction of Baka Not Nice. The rap feud between Drake and Lamar, including but not limited to documents appended in exhibits N through X.
My thing is this here. Drake's money is not longer than Universal's, bro. He's trying to sue Universal about some nonsense. And Universal, they get that long money, man. Long money. Pause. And they can do their investigations, man, and figure out what they need to know. However they need to go about it. Anything you hide, bro, he opened up this book of worms for himself. Like I said before, I'm like, if Drake is going to file a lawsuit talking about bots and stuff like this, if you know that type of stuff is going on, it's because you used it, for sure. And they probably got some evidence of him doing that as well. But this is crazy.
So I take this and I read this as UMG putting the court on notice and putting Drake's team on notice.
Better shut your mouth.
Because if Drake is forcing UMG to take the route of defending themselves, if Drake's team is forcing UMG to defend themselves, UMG's prepared to do so. And whatever it is, there's a lot of public stuff. This is why this case is so crazy to me. Because there's a lot of public stuff that if you present this in court, it can help color to the courtroom, to a jury, the bombastic hyperbole that is common in rap battles. And if they have to get into the details, well, yeah, Drake told Dot to say that he heard he likes young girls as a gift for me. And you can go look at all of these other public records that have been out there, plus whatever documents UMG has.
It's crazy.
So this is the first time we've seen this in this form.
That's crazy, man. Drake, you're going to run out of money trying to prove you the one right here before UMG prove you the one wrong. So, yeah. Nonsense at his finest. Drake better shut the F up. What the hell? But I ain't know nothing about him kissing a young girl in Colorado. What, bro? What you doing up in my state kissing young girls, dude? Take that back to wherever you came from doing all that nonsense. We don't condone that, man. You feel me? Where are my people from Colorado? Y'all up in the chat or what, bro? But anyway, y'all already know, man. That's the video. Drake better keep his mouth shut. They let you know, Drake, we got this evidence. Keep on, bruh. And we're gonna go full-fledged on your head, boy. Feel me? You already know, man. It's your boy No Tats. I'm gonna see y'all in the next video.